samurai swords. They're an extension of you. They're your personality. So we always try to do that. You know, Brian always gets the fast car, Dom always gets kind of the furious car.
Brian's in a car that's nimble handles, corners, does all that stuff as a rally car should. So that was one of our easier cars to build because Subaru's pretty much come rally ready other than some suspension and roll cage and seats. Subaru was kind enough to give us 5 or 6 of those cars, which I don't think any are left, unfortunately. Tej seems to be about function. You know, Tej's character really knows, you know, what he needs to do to accomplish a job.
Tej, shield! I'm on the way!
I think the Jeep worked great because it was basically the battering ram.
Punch it!
He just basically cleared the path for the rest of the guys. That one actually did hold up well. I think we do have 3 out of 5 that still run, so that's pretty good.
Sir, we have an unidentified vehicle approaching.
Well, well, well. Welcome to the party, Mr. Shaw.
We wanted it with some type of fast attack vehicle. It's kind of a variation of some military vehicles, something that kind of fit his character. It performs well. It was a very equal match for Dom's car. We actually used the same chassis for both cars, so a lot of the parts were interchangeable, the same power plant, same transmissions. It was nice. If we tore a right corner off of one car and this car, you know, was dead, we could borrow parts and keep everything rolling. Roman's Camaro, 60, 67 Camaros, you know, one of my personal favorite cars.
Wow! Okay, what the?
I think the Camaro fits Roman's character. It's great. It's a rugged car. It takes a beating. It blows Shaw over at the end of the sequence. It worked great.
Guys, this first thing that we're gonna do, we have 4 cameras going, 3 cameras inside, 1 camera here with Billy.
So here we are in the penthouse suite, which is, in my mind, a set built to feature this car.
When the car hits the threshold, Oakley here is gonna fire quarter load.
When we started to talk about this scene, we looked at a lot of cars, and we were like, what car could be so special that a prince would have locked up in a vault? And Dennis brought to us this car. He goes, there's only one problem. It's being made right now, and I don't know if it can be done in time. And we're like, come on, Dennis, you got it. And Dennis came through, got us this car.
What's behind me here is the W Motors Lycan Hypersport.
You guys know all to clear and start your action as the doors are being blown, right?
It's twin turbo, 240 mile an hour top speed, sells for about $3.4 million.
Lots of debris going this way, so you guys watch your eyes.
What's unique about this car, makes it perfect for this location in our film, is it's the first United Arab Emirates-based supercar.
The Lycan is one of the most exclusive cars in the world, limited to only 7 ever made. It has a flat 6-cylinder, 3.8 liter, twin turbo mid-engine, producing 770 horsepower, 1,000 torque. It's one of the fastest cars in the world. The lights of the car are made of white gold, diamonds, and blue sapphire. You can choose the stone that you want depending on the color of the car. So it's really incredible to have the lights light up with precious stones.
This is the first film that Dom is caught in a car like that. It's extreme circumstances that force him to get behind the wheel of a car that couldn't be more the antithesis of this beast here.
I think story-wise now, since Dom was planning on being retired, he used some of his spare time to rebuild another Charger. That car's really like a cast member of the film, so it has to keep coming back.
That was awesome.
We don't really deviate too much on that car since it was originally introduced in the very first movie. I mean, every movie we try to, make some subtle changes, some subtle improvements.
It is still there for him, and I'm blessed to be associated with the most iconic car in history. The audience has its own relationship to this Charger. When you see it, you have a visceral reaction. That's an interesting and cool feeling.
round 2 of Chicken. Shaw comes back in an Aston Martin DB9, which is another car that really just seemed natural. We featured his brother in an Aston Martin in London, so family car.
Call me a snob, but why not? He's a Brit. Put him in a British car. I mean, Toretto drives the muscle cars, they're flying the flag in that way. It's a character thing.
This is our team coming back to LA. They're coming home, so you really want to put them in the car is where it started. The G-Tire we built for Brian was tried to not go over the top, keep it classy, but just, minor changes, wheels, tires. The variable ride height was another aspect. I think the funniest car of the whole batch is Roman's car. Because when you think back to Roman's introduction, he's driving an old Monte Carlo in a demolition derby. So we just went with an old cop car, an old four-door box style.
I wasn't happy about that choice.
It looked cool, it looked great.
I think the car is ugly.
Gave it a little NASCAR flair, manual 4-speed transmission.
It's taken away from my sex, I got through it. I went to see my therapist about it. I think I'm gonna be okay.
So in the very end of the film, we have a very meaningful scene where we have Dom and Brian side by side. Brings us back to the very first Fast and Furious, where Dom's in a Charger and Brian's in a Supra. For this sequence, I actually talked to Paul's friends and family and was able to borrow Paul's personal white Toyota Supra. I can't think of any better car to put it into this movie than that. And then for Dom, it has to be a Charger. It obviously has to be the coolest Charger that I can find. So last year at the SEMA show, it was unfinished, but the Maximus Charger was there just in raw steel, and it was just that raw steel look that really caught my eye. And then once, we got a closer look at the car, you can see the work that's gone into it. So made a deal, got the car out here, and once again, like everything in our world, last minute, the car wasn't completed. They were doing everything they could on their end to complete it. I think they had 12 guys working around the clock. It has probably the most horsepower and the biggest rear tires of any Charger I've ever seen. And it exceeds like 2,000 horsepower, so fit just perfect. In the end, it's all worth it, because to have that Charger and that Supra lined up in this film, I think, is a meaningful moment for the fans of the Fast and Furious franchise.